Spring break isn't just for college students anymore. By the time March and April roll around, we midlifers are jonesing to get away too, or at least I know I am. And although we are well past our kamikaze shots and wet t-shirt days, Florida still is a perfect place for spring break for those of us over 40. You might think Florida is all theme parks and lazy days on the beach. There are actually a ton of opportunities for adventure, charming historic towns to explore, and sensational culinary delights to indulge in. Let's start with the Florida Keys. This string of tropical islands is a must-see destination for any traveler visiting Florida. Although the Keys, and especially Key West, have gotten much more populated since my first visit with my sorority sisters in 1988, it is still worth spending at least a day or two exploring the historic old town. You might want to book at least one night stay so you can experience the sunset celebration at Mallory Square and have a few drinks at Sloppy Joe's, Hemingway's favorite bar. There are so many great restaurants in Key West, it will be hard to choose. Just know you'll be getting amazing fresh seafood and cuisine with a fun multicultural twist. The drive along the Overseas Highway is an experience in itself. The turquoise waters stretch for miles, and the bridges just seem to go on forever. There are some very unique attractions to stop and see while you're making your way south, like Pigeon Key on the old 7 Mile Bridge walk and bike path that tells the fascinating story of the bridge's construction in 1912. You don't want to miss either walking or biking on the newly finished bike trail that goes out here on the original part of the 7 Mile Bridge. It goes about 2 miles in, and at the end of the 2 miles is Pigeon Key. It was one of the original work camps that Henry Flagler used when they were building the railroad back in the early 1900s. It's now being used as a flightless bird sanctuary, and you can go down there and walk around. It does cost a little bit. I think it's about $10 per person to go down there, but it is a really cool little key out here in the middle of a reef. When you're heading north from the Keys, you'll want to head west to the southern entrance for the Everglades National Park, home to over 1.5 million acres of wetlands, sawgrass marshes, and hardwood hammocks. I recommend driving all the way down to Flamingo, where you can rent a kayak or go out on a boat tour. If you're lucky, you just might see a few manatees hanging around the marina too. This really cool mid-century building behind me is the original visitor center for the Flamingo part of the Everglades National Park. It was built in the 1950s, but unfortunately, due to recent hurricanes like 2017's Irma, it has suffered a lot of damage. Currently, it is being renovated and remodeled, and they are hoping to be able to open it for the 75th anniversary of the park in 2023. So fingers crossed they can get that done. Another must-do while you are in the park is the Anhinga Trail. It's a boardwalk that winds through the marsh, giving you a close-up view of gators, herons, anhingas, which is a bird, and so much other wildlife. I've done a whole video on the Everglades, which I'll have linked below. It really is one of my favorite national parks. Looking for those famous white sandy beaches and bright blue water, you'll want to head to the southwest coast of Florida. Marco Island is a hidden gem with spectacular beaches where you could just lay out and read a book, or perhaps try your hand at a more adventurous water sport like parasailing or paddleboarding. If you have access to a boat, you can go explore the mangroves or head out for some deep sea fishing.
That's a nice one. Let it be a nice cobia.
You might even catch a glimpse of the Dome House, an ill-fated home built by an oil baron back in the 1980s that has been taken over by Mother Nature. Further north is one of my favorite historic towns in Florida, Tarpon Springs. This charming town is known for its Greek heritage and sponge fishing history. The colorful downtown is so much fun to walk around with tons of beautiful items that make fantastic souvenirs, especially those famous sponges. There are so many choices of real Greek food, and you don't want to miss out on trying some of the homemade baklava. I hope that you've enjoyed this little tour of some of my favorite places in Florida. And if you do enjoy content like this, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.